Okay, a race car update. First thing we did is put this vent window post in here. It's just a small diameter 1.25 inch tube. It splits the span between the window post and the halo at the top. Adds a little bit of strength there. And started mounting the seat. So underneath the seat is a bracket. It's a piece of square tubing that runs over to the X brace and ties this part of the door bar clear across into the X brace, and then it mounts, the seat mounts solidly against this bar that runs from one side of the roll bar to the other. I see people at the track all the time that put a pipe and move their seat forward and have this thing right in the middle of their back, which is a very, very bad idea because you can get in a crash and your seat can bend around that and injure you. They usually have it right in line with their spine. Such a bad idea. So what I did back here to brace up the back of the seat is I put another small 1.25 inch tube down from the frame, straight across the back of the seat up to this X member here. If you're going to add a pipe, you might as well strengthen the chassis up too. And then there's some seatbelt mounts here. There's a couple tabs up here to mount the top of the seat. And there'll be a couple tabs along in here to hold the back of the seat and strengthen that up. And we're working on prototyping the steering. So this is just an aftermarket bracket that holds a Heim joint. And then this is the steering shaft. It runs down through here into a steering quickener, which is secured to this dash bar. This is just temporary bolts. Don't worry, we won't leave it like that. There'll be some gussets in here too. Anytime you can prevent the steering shaft from being shoved into your face, for instance by having a steering quickener that's securely bolted to a bar, do it. Because it's very, very dangerous. You'd hate to have a 3,500-pound car collapse and have all that weight being transferred up into your face. It's happened before. It just happened this weekend at Banks, or the Sunset Speedway. A guy broke his nose and was very lucky he didn't die. So I've been fitting this to Trish. I have the steering wheel very close to her, and that's how I always ran it on my car too. So when you're pulling on the steering wheel, you're pulling down because you're a bit stronger pulling down. If the steering wheel was out here somewhere and your arms were straight, you don't have as much mechanical advantage as if your arms are pulling more in a straight line down. So that's why it looks like it's very close here. There's a reason for that. Now, the steering shaft's going to come off of here, go through a universal joint. It's going to angle down, come through the firewall, hit another universal joint and a bar that's going to go down through here, and a Heim joint holding it. So you're going to have two universal joints not in a straight line. So again, if the front of this car collapses, you're going to have those universal joints moving past each other and preventing the steering wheel from bashing you in the face. Then also, Trish cleaned up the collapsible steering shaft that came with this particular car. Sometime in the late 70s and early 80s, it was mandatory that all cars have these collapsible steering shafts. So make sure those are working in good order if you're going to use your stock steering shaft, because boy, it's a really scary thing to have your gearbox move a foot or so and jam that right into your face. And so last thing, so due to clearance in here, since this car has a lot of space between the halo and the first door bar, just it's by rules, we have to run within the body. Normally, I would take a bar from the center of the dash post here, dash bar, and run it back to that X in there, a straight line, but unfortunately it's very close to Trish's elbow and she's going to be smacking her elbow. So instead, I'm going to put an X brace through here. So I've just mocked it up with some garden utensils laying in here. So there's going to be an X through here, which is going to give her some space for her elbows to move around here and strengthen this. And of course, I mentioned this before, I'm going to have some more bracing coming forward, some diagonals that come from here back to the center, and then on a mirror image on that side. So I think that pretty much covers it. Tricia's sanding it. She's going to start priming all the bars that got kind of surface rusty over the summer. All right, everyone, be careful with your race cars. Be diligent. Check everything. Until next time.